morning. Welcome to the Indy Boomer Show. I'm Mary Pat McKee. I'm sitting here this morning with Lynn Fisher. She is, and that's kind of ironic, that her last name is Fisher, and we're going to be discussing Fisher Sertoma Club today.
We are.
Hey, before we get started, we want to do a couple things. First of all, we want to thank Jim Wofford and Wofford Theater and Hamilton County TV, Hamilton County Radio, all the wonderful things that Jim is doing up here in Noblesville, Hamilton County, for allowing us to have the show. We are so excited. The new July issue is out with Debbie Knox on the cover. Just came out last Friday. Be sure and go to any CVS. There you can see it on the screen as well. So go to any CVS store in Indianapolis or the surrounding counties and pick up a copy and enjoy. It's a good read. It's getting good feedback this month. So it's going to be a crazy day, Lynn. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All righty. Both Lynn and I are members of Fisher Sertoma Club, and we wanted to let the community know more about us, what we do, that kind of thing. Lynn, you are CEO?
I am.
Currently of Fisher Sertoma. Tell us about Fisher Sertoma Club.
Fisher Sertoma Club is now 14 years old as of May. We are an organization that is pretty diversified on some of the things that we do support, and primarily in Fishers is where we have been. However, we've now expanded membership throughout Hamilton County and some even northern Lawrence.
Yeah.
The basic difference between, I think, Fisher Sertoma Club and some of the other organizations that we have in Hamilton County is we do focus on one major thing, and so does National, which is over 100 years old.
Yeah.
And that is the hearing impaired.
Mm-hmm.
The reason we focus a lot on it is most people don't know and are unaware that we have a huge non-hearing community and deaf community or hearing impaired community in Hamilton County.
Mm-hmm.
So
and in Fishers specifically.
Specifically Fishers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we've got several members that are deeply involved in that community and are
Mm-hmm.
constantly updating us on what we need to be advised on and how it's impacting Hamilton County and different things we can support to even move forward in that cause.
Mm-hmm.
The other things that we do support, like Prevail, Lutherwood, those are more family and crisis types of organizations.
Let's back up to that just for a moment. Prevail is a Hamilton County domestic abuse agency that helps people in that situation. Been around for a long time, and we're very proud. We're very proud that we just received a plaque from Prevail for our work that we've done. We support. They have a dog named Odell. And Odell has been instrumental, especially with the children, helping them, deprogram, work out their situations. Communicate, thank you. Obviously, I can't communicate very well. But anyway, it's to help the kids, and it's been a great program. And Sertoma has supported Odell since it started. Now, Lutherwood is, again, like you said, another organization.
Family Services, which has actually transformed since we originally started, supporting them clear back in 2001. They've grown, they've developed, and they've matured into some different causes because they've had to. I mean, their needs have completely changed. Mm-hmm. But they have their own place, and it's not a compound, but their own location where displaced children and families can come and work out their difficulties.
Right.
And
they also house a lot of children that basically wouldn't have anywhere else to go if it wasn't for Lutherwood.
On the street.
And Lutherwood has partnered now with Community Health Services, which helps tremendously with a lot of the cost. I mean, it's very expensive. Now, Sertoma did put in the chapel. We put in a hall in the facility, and it wasn't just Fisher Sertoma. It was the East Club and the Lawrence Club, I believe.
Yeah.
A lot of us donated money, and again, it's been a great resource for Lutherwood.
It has. I mean, the main thing that Fisher Sertoma is trying to do is this year, and we do have a new location, and we love it.
Yep.
We now meet every second and fourth Wednesday of the month at Buca's at Castleton, behind Castleton
Buca
Square.
de Pepo.
That is
Am I
correct.
saying it right?
Yeah, I'm sure you're saying it better than I would. That's why I left it at Buka.
Well, and it's at noon, but you come early, family style serving.
Family style, and it's delicious food, but we have the opportunity there to now expand and grow the club even more because we're not running out of room. And I think that's one of the exciting new things. But we do a lot of different organizational things, and now we're with the Fishers Coalition. Since Fishers has become a city, they are trying desperately to keep in touch with all of us service organizations to find out what our needs are and how we can all work together
That's a great
to
idea.
be more cohesive in our plan, gather in strength in numbers, and promote what we're doing to those people that want to be involved in a service organization but just don't know how to go about it and have a choice.
Right. And actually, the Parks and Rec of Fishers, now the city of Fishers, I keep forgetting it's not the town of Fishers, but anyway, have put together this coalition, and it involves Fishers Sertoma, the Rotary Club, the Kiwanis, you name it, any organization, even Hamilton County United Way is involved.
That's right.
And
That's right.
I mean, we do things. We have gathered our volunteers all together that have helped at like a backpack attack. What was the one we did in the spring where they went and cleaned up?
We do the Fishers Beautification Program.
Fishers Beautification.
This is our
Program.
third year doing that,
Right.
and I got to tell you, it's usually families in need, and we've done it 2 years in a row, believe it or not, in Sunblessed, because they're older homes that a long-time residents
Yeah, a
can't
lot of people
either
have lived there.
physically or financially take care of some of the things in the outside of their yard and their home. So we've all strapped our jeans and on and pitched in all together in between the organizations, and we've been able to tackle a lot of homes that have needed our help in particular, and it's very, very rewarding.
Yeah, exactly. But going back to sponsorships, Prevail and Lutherwood, we chartered in May of 2001.
Right.
And Lutherwood and Prevail have been with us all along. We have brought on board Come to Me Food Pantry. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's over at Fishers United Methodist Church at 116th and 69, and they feed, I forget how many Linda said last time. It's amazing how many folks they feed, and they have to be from Hamilton County in order to receive those services. But they feed, I want to say 30,000. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, and the numbers are growing. I mean, it's a lot of people that are needing the food resources that they have, and we support in a couple of different ways. We give them money, and then on
And
some
we give
of our
them food.
on some of our social events, like our Colts party every year that we have in the fall, everybody needs to bring canned goods, boxed
And you know
goods.
what? We're going to have to talk about that when we come back. So we want to talk. I want to talk about the Colts party that we do every year, which is really great, and also the here in Indiana and what we're doing more in the deaf community. We'll be right back. Thanks.
Everyone knows it's easy to find first-run movies in the big theaters. But where can you go to watch your favorite classic movies on the big screen for the perfect night out? Why rent a flick when you can rent the entire theater? Call today to reserve our 32-seat theater for your next event, or just stop by to see what's showing this weekend. The 14 by 7 foot screen and the high quality digital surround sound system offers all the amenities you would expect from the big theaters, with a laid back atmosphere and comfortable seating of your own home. Wofford Theater at 1744 South 10th Street in Noblesville gives you the classic movies you want with a big theater experience.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. and we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Can you see? Hey, welcome back. Mary Pat McKee with the Indy Boomer Show. I'm sitting here this morning with Lynn Fisher of Fisher Sertoma Club. I am also a Sertoman, a very proud Sertoman. So
we're a little late on that one.
Yeah, but we got it. A couple things before we get started. One, just remind everybody about the Indy Boomer magazine with Debbie Knox. The July issue is out. It can be picked up at any CVS store in Indianapolis and surrounding counties. Before I forget, and I'll remind you again, on Sunday on Channel 8 is Boomer TV with Patty Spittler. Tune in to us for at 10:30. We got a great show. We've got, I'm really excited. We have Evergreen from the Jazz Kitchen is on this Sunday. And we've got some, and Paul Petit is at the airport asking people, I forget what he's asking him, but it's pretty hilarious. But anyway, be sure and tune into the show. Also, one other thing before we forget, and we need to do this, you can also hear this on Hamilton County Radio, Monday through Fridays at 6:30 p.m. So let's tell them our website is, you want to give it?
FisherSertoma.com, which has just recently changed from the org to the com. So if you've got that in your old records, we've now moved to a .com. We're also on Facebook. And we also have a monthly newsletter that talks about our events, our meetings, what our club members are doing, what we've talked about in the board. It's really, really informative. And we've put all of that together within the last 3 to 4 years. So it
took us 3 to 4 years.
Well, it took us a lot longer, but it was just one of those things where people were saying, we want to know what you're doing, and we didn't have anything up and running. We just had been doing the same old thing, so it was time to get better at it.
Well, I find it always amazing that when I talk to somebody and I tell them I'm in Fisher Sertoma Club, they go, well, what is that? And Sertoma stands for Service to Mankind, and it's been around since 1911, I want to say, 1912 maybe. Long time.
Long time, but they didn't focus on a national cause. And when they turned 100 years old, they finally did.
And that's where the hearing came in.
That's where the hearing impaired became the strong threshold of what they wanted everybody in Sertoma to be recognized for. Even though every club is always allowed to venture out and support any kind of service need or goal that we feel is important. Our primary focus nationally and another primary cause for us is the hearing impaired.
Right. And, something we've done, which is kind of interesting, and we got this from a gentleman and his wife. Well, he's actually deaf. His wife is not. But we bought iPads for the police officers in Fishers because he said there's a big communication problem when people get pulled over, even just for a speeding ticket or whatever, ran a stop sign, whatever. They weren't able to communicate. So we have bought a couple of iPads. Actually, one is being used in the police department and one is being used in the fire department for when they run into those situations. So that's very helpful. And then
and the story I think that really kind of brought us there when we initially met with this guy who's a member, George Martin. One of the things that they were telling us was the police were called to a residence, and it was one of those situations, family battle.
It was a domestic problem.
It was, and the only person that could hear and talk was a 6-year-old child, and that's where you run into the issue of the child is trying to translate for the parents, and it's just not working, and it ended up being emotionally draining on the child. And so not only did, I'm sure, that child go into counseling of some kind, but that brought home the reason that we do have a heavy hearing impaired community, and we need to jump in and try and help out the officers and the fire department with it.
Yeah, and what the iPads do is they have a monthly service that has a translator. So the police officer will talk to the translator on the iPad, and so it's almost like FaceTime.
Right.
So they see him, and then the translator then communicates that to the deaf person, and vice versa. So it takes care of a lot. With the deaf people with sign language, a lot of it is expression, and it's in your face. It's not so much how they do the hand.
Or the reading, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Their reading is a little bit different as well,
right,
because they translate differently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're very proud that we were able to do that, and we continue to do more. We've been working with Here Indiana, which is a great organization for the whole state of Indiana, Naomi Horton, and they mostly work with children. I mean, we just had a young boy, a cute young man, come to lunch a couple of weeks ago, and he had a cochlear implant in his head, and he was able to hear. Without it, he would be totally deaf and not be able to.
It was amazing, just to find out, and we really started like 10 years ago to really. Not 10 years ago, sorry, about 4 or 5 years
14.
ago.
14, oh.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years ago.
Lynn has a problem with numbers.
I do.
So that's why I'm here to straighten her
Just
out.
all kind of runs together. But basically, that's when we started to learn about all the new technology and how there's such a huge difference in hearing aids, and how everybody thinks you can buy one and it's going to fit everybody. It doesn't.
No,
Everybody's needs
are
and the
different.
way they interpret or hear sound is completely different. So you're looking at something that has multi-use in different categories and areas.
Another thing I think we should let people know is that if you have anybody who has hearing aids that would like to donate them, we actually contribute with the Lions Club to a bank that's down at Riley Hospital, and people that are in need that can't afford hearing aids, they actually take the hearing aids, certain parts of them, and are able to adjust them, calibrate them for other people. So, if you know somebody who needs hearing aids, let us know that as well, because I think that we could help them. In fact, we have helped a couple folks.
We definitely have. Right.
Get hearing aids that weren't able to afford them. So, but keep that in mind for the hearing aids as well. Time is flying quickly. Let's talk quickly about the Colts party. We do every single year. We do it out at the Hearth of Windermere, which is out at 96 in Mollenkopf. And this year our party is September. It's in September.
It's the beginning. It's like the 9th or the 15th or something.
I don't think it's that soon. Well, it's whenever Indy plays Jacksonville, because it's an out-of-town game.
Right.
And one of our members has the Colts bus, which you may see down at the game occasionally. It's a big school bus. It says Indianapolis Colts on the side of it. And so he comes, and we have a huge TV outside so we can watch the game. And we have food, and we have stuff on the grill, and people bring their drinks.
And we have contests and gifts and
that's a
things.
Good example of when we collect the food for the food pantry as well. But yeah, we do have contests and some silent auction items. And anyway, it's a good time if you like to watch the Colts game and maybe meet some new friends. Check our website again at www.fisherssertoma.com, and that is 2 S's, Fishers and then Sertoma. Also, if you'd like to reach out to us, you're welcome to give Lynn a call. Her number is 317-250-7364.
Or reach out on Facebook.
Lynn, we're going to have to do this again. This was good. I think it's good information, and please let us know if you would be interested.
We'll keep you abreast of new things we're doing when we're doing them.
Exactly. One more thought. Don't forget to watch Boomer TV this Sunday at 10:30 on Channel 8 with Patty Spittler, and she also, has hearing problems. Is deaf, totally deaf in one ear. So anyway, thank you so much for being with us today, and we will see you next week. Take care.